Okay, we are going to make an accessible quiz in Adobe Captivate 2019. And I think we're going to do that by starting a new blank project. And we're going to open the publishing settings. We're going to give it a title. And this is going to be a quiz. It's going to have a quiz. And HTML5. And we have accessibility is enabled. Set our preloader to 20% just because. And then we want our objects to last for the rest of the slide. I think otherwise everything's going to only last for a few seconds when you put it on the screen. Okay, that looks pretty good. And for the quiz, enable reporting and other standard LMS. We want Scorum 2004, 4th edition, because that's the latest and the greatest. Okay, that's that. And we'll just go ahead and save it. And next, we're going to build our play bar. And we just open the skin editor. And we're going to deselect some player controls and show the playback control, hide the play bar in the quiz. We want to lose these controls. And like we saw in the other video, the user can't actually grab this like little caret position indicator and drag it to like flip through all the slides without doing anything. I don't know what I just did. Position bottom. Okay, we're going to save that. Now here's our title. And I'm just going to call that quiz items. We're going to change the color of that text to black so it has good contrast. And then this guy is going to merge into the background, if I can remember how to do that. No, that's not it. See, I have another guide going on in my second monitor, so I'm looking to figure out where this thing is. Oh, no, this one. Okay, excuse me. So I found it. It's properties for the slide. There's our accessibility properties. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's our master slide. Okay, add a project background. No. There we go. Okay, so now we have merged this title. Oh. All right, hang on. Okay, so we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, and I lost a bunch of stuff that I was working on and showing you, so I'm just going to do it again real quick, just because it makes sense to do that. I want to add some text. I'm going to add a text caption, and there it is, and we're going to snag some here we go. I'm just going to grab some text out of here and just insert it, and we're going to resize this caption box. There we go. And we did most of this stuff in a previous video, so this is kind of a review if you've looked at those other videos. So I'm going to give it some contrast, and then I'm going to go over here, grab this, and actually, no, I'm going to click on the slide, and then for the background, I'm going to switch it to project background, and then I'm going to select my text, and then I'm going to merge the text with the background, and then I'm going to go to this slide, make sure we're on the slide properties, go to accessibility, and then I'm going to paste our text as a slide note. And the title, let's give these slides titles. This is going to be title slide, or let's see, introduction slide, and we're going to call this slide 1. I'm going to call this slide 2. Okay. And let's see what our accessibility says. Okay, so it just has the notes, and then the title is just the same. Oh, no, that's no good. Control Z. Okay, so this little blank thing here, this is just the slide template that we're going to use. Let's go ahead and do our interactions again. And one caveat is that you have to recreate these interactions from scratch each time, I think. Let's get another button. And I think it's because when they're generated, I think they get like unique IDs. And if you clone them, then it starts repeating IDs or something like that. If there was some reason. Oh, I don't want to rotate that. Control Z. We want to make the, okay, whichever multiple item you select first is the one that the subsequent items follows when you do these align functions. You know, resize to the same size. See, I selected this one first, then I selected this one, and so when I made them the same size, the second one followed the first one, and you could tell which one is the leading selection because the little grab handles are white and then on the primary, and then on all the ones that follow, the little slide handles are going to be black. Now that I've got them selected, I'm just going to align them in the middle. So there we go. And let's give them names. Don't cheese out. Let's make it meaningful. Oh, come on. This button, the caption says go to next slide, go to previous slide. And the next one is go to next slide. Okay, so this one's button 4, and give it a good name. Okay, and then this one gets button 5. Go to next slide. Okay, now let's check our accessibility labels. And I don't necessarily want to auto label this, but what I want to do is I want to say go to previous slide, our button. And for this one, give it an accessibility title. Don't want auto label. We're going to say button. Go to next slide. Okay, so that's kind of how you set up your basic slide, because apparently the navigation bar is not that great to work with JAWS according to the guidelines that we're following. I'm sure that there are different ways to do it, but this is what we were told in the document that we're working off of. Now, to add this interaction, we're going to go to the quiz menu at the top, and we're going to add a question slide, and it's going to be a multiple choice slide, and it's going to be 1, it's going to be graded. That's one slide. If I selected 2, it would make 2 slides. I selected 3, it would make 3 slides. Click OK. Now here's our slide, and when we look at it, we can see that it doesn't look super great. We've got all these pre-populated template items. I guess I could make this black to improve the contrast. I can make it larger. That would help, I think. Question 1 of 1. That's good. Type the question here. What is the capital of the United States of America? And the answer for the first choice is Dallas, Texas. And that is where I received my advanced training in Adobe Captivate back in 2008, 2009. Spent 2 days up there working with a private trainer who taught me all kinds of tips and tricks, which I've forgotten most of by now, but it was pretty informative. That was before I started using Storyline primarily. Okay, what is the capital of the United States of America? It's Washington. Washington, District of Columbia. I can barely read this text. That means it's not accessible. I have decent eyesight, so I would like to go back to my styling area, and I would like to make this text higher contrast, and I also want to increase the size of this to about 28, and the same for this item. The best way to do this would be to go to the master slide for these question items and change it on the template. And one thing I really dislike is having these number indicators on here. I'm going to try and fix that. Line left, everything's all lined up. Okay, good. Here are our options for the quiz, I think, somewhere around here. Let's go ahead and make this guy bigger. Sorry about that. Oh, here's the quiz options. We want to have 3 options. There we go. And no, we don't want to type that. Let's try Houston, Texas. There we go. And this entire guy's this guy's going to get completely restyled. More contrast, larger. Well, look at that. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't like those little number thingies, but at least they're all going to match. Choice A, choice B, and choice C. If I shuffle these questions, of course, the numbers or the letter designators are going to be out of order. What if I can get rid of those? No, I can't get rid of those. Alright, that's good enough for now. Okay, I'm going to save as. I'm going to call this quiz 2 because I already went through all the steps of publishing this and my screen recorder thing was not working right, so this is the second time I'm doing it. Alright, and so I'm going to publish it, and we already set our publishing settings. And HTML5, scalable HTML content, we're going to publish it. Okay, we've got until 7/21 to use this course before it locks on us. That's to keep people from like making a living by writing courses with the trial version of Captivate. Now, let's just go ahead and minimize that. And we're in Scorum Cloud. And here's my library. I'm going to add to this course library. We're going to add content and import a Scorum package, and we're going to import it to Scorum Cloud. We're going to choose a file, and it's going to be in documents, I'm sure, and my Captivate, Adobe Captivate projects, quiz 2, nicely zipped up for us. I'm going to import the course. And like I said before, Scorum Cloud, Rustici Software offers this for free. It's a great place to test out your LMS enabled courses to make sure that they work. You can put them in your LMS and then you can put them in Scorum Cloud, then you can compare between the two and make sure that everything's working okay in your LMS. Do it all the time. And there are no negative consequences from using this Scorum Cloud. I've been using it for years and years and years. Okay, I guess I could launch the course. Let me crank up NVDA. Well, there it is. Let me add a source to this screen recorder.
Loading NVDA. Please wait. Desktop. OBS. OBS 2 3.1.0, 64-bit. Windows. Profile. Scorm. Welcome. Scorm. Welcome.
Okay.
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 Scorm Cloud.
We're all saying okay, so everything must be okay. All right, I'm going to launch the course now.
Scorm Cloud. Navigation landmark link graphic Scorm Cloud product UI. List with one items menu button sub menu add content out of list. Heading level 4 Stephen Landry. Link settings link logout. List with 10. Desktop. Button. HTTP.
Okay.
Play button.
Now the right way to do this is to cover up your screen with like a piece of paper or several pieces of paper, so like you navigate and use JAWS like you were visually impaired yourself. And people don't do that enough, and that's why nothing works with JAWS. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to act kind of hypocritical about this. I'm just going to launch it out because there's a specific thing that I want to see. Now that I'm in here,
clickable button. Go to next slide button.
Now see, that's pretty cool. I know what I'm supposed to do. It's a button. Go to next slide. Hit enter. Okay, now nothing really happens. So I guess I would use either my arrow or my tab key. And I'm going to use one on one slide and one on the next slide. I'm going to use my arrow key to see what's on here. Down arrow key.
Graphic with disabilities. 1. The concept of accessible design and practice of accessible development. Graphic ensures both direct access, IE unassisted, and indirect access, meaning compatibility with a graphic person's assistive technology too, for example, computer screen readers. Accessibility can be.
Okay, it keeps saying graphic, and merging this text item with the background was supposed to alleviate that.
Desktop. Graphic viewed as the ability to access and benefit from some system or entity.
Okay,
the concept focuses on.
I'm just going down with the down arrow.
Graphic enabling access for people with disabilities, or special needs, or enabling access through the use. Graphic of assistive technology. However, research and development in accessibility brings benefits to graphic everyone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Accessibility is not to be confused with usability, which is the extent to.
This is really problematic because it keeps stopping what it's saying and saying graphic. It's really confusing. I think it's increasing the cognitive load, and I can't really follow what the text on the slide is, and it does it like every 25 characters or something like that.
Graphic which a product, such as a device, service, or environment, can be used by specified users. Graphic achieves specified goals with a graphic use. Graphic products that are usable by people with the widest possible range of abilities, operating within. Graphic the widest possible range of situations. 8 This is about making things accessible to all people. Graphic, whether they have a disability or not.
And it's not picking up on these like brackets and parentheses items and stuff like that. Let's see what's happening when I keep using the down arrow.
Button. Go to next slide. Button. Go to previous slide.
Okay, and so
desk.
Hang on, JAWS or NVDA. JAWS's ugly cousin.
Top level win.
Okay, so these buttons.
Top level window.
These buttons that it's reading.
Tab control. Top level.
Is
tab control.
Here.
Pane.
And
top level window.
Yeah. So
top level window. UI top level.
So I named it
item
button. Go to the next slide. So I should not have.
Window.
I should not
item,
have.
Button.
I should not have put this button indicator here. So let's go back to our presentation.
Task https / top level win item accessibility os cat top https
Okay.
progress slide 1 of 5 slider 52/5.
Oh wait, that's our status bar down there at the bottom. And like I was saying, I can't like well, so I can seek through
Clickable
this thing.
slide 2 storm cloud test.
I need to lock this this bar here because I don't want people.
Slide 2 storm cloud test.
Yeah, I don't want people to be able to navigate by just dragging this thing. I want them to use my buttons. So anyway.
Button. Go to next slide button.
Okay, let's. So what happens if I do the old caps lock A?
Graphic ducts, devices, services, or environments for people graphic with disabilities. 1. The concept of accessible design and practice of accessible development. Graphic ensures both direct access, i.e., unassisted, and indirect access, meaning compatibility with a graphic person's assistive technology. 2. For example, computer screen readers. Accessibility can be graphic viewed as the ability to access and benefit from some system or entity. The concept focuses on graphic enabling access for people.
Okay, so that's kind of weird that so caps lock A is read everything on the slide, and it just keeps inserting that term graphic like every 5 words, and it's really distracting. So I'm going to use tab to go to the next focusable element.
Button. Go to next slide button.
Okay, so I want to go to the next slide.
Slide 2 Scorm Cloud Test. Play and distribute e-learning. Scorm Cloud takes care of all your e-learning needs, from testing standards-based content to delivering courses and reporting on results. Log into Scorm Cloud Online to manage your learning in one place, or integrate Scorm Cloud functionality to your application via our API. Each Scorm Cloud account includes an LRS, in-depth reporting, and delightful support. Sign up for a free trial today. Graphic. Desktop.
Okay, so now we're back. We're here on this slide, and we've determined that the trick of embedding the text from a caption into the background does not negate the screen reader from saying graphic every like 5 or 6 words, which is a little distracting. And we've also determined that the buttons work kind of well. We just don't want to put the word button in the name because the screen reader recognizes that it's a button, so it doesn't need that extra help. I'm going to use tab to go to the next focusable element.
Studio mode checkbox not checked.
Okay, I want to make sure that I'm in the right window.
https://cloud.scorm.com.
Okay, that's the right window. Tab.
Button. Go to previous slide button. Button. Go to next slide button.
Go to the next slide. Enter.
Graphic.
Okay, so here's our lovely multiple choice question.
Greater button. Less button.
I'm just tabbing through everything.
Progress. Slide 1 of 5 slider 54/5. View site information menu button. Secure row 1 column 1. Address and search bar. Edit read only has autocomplete. Control plus L. Selected https://cloud.document. Graphic. Greater button. Less button.
Okay, so those are all the focusable elements that NVDA sees in this browser window. It's not very informative. Let's try the caps lock A and just read everything.
Button less. Graphic clickable progress. Slide 1 of 5 slider progress. Slide 1 of 5.
Let's try it again.
Progress. Slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5.
Let's try up arrow.
Graphic clickable. Button less. Button greater. Clickable radio button unavailable not checked Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Clickable radio button unavailable not checked Washington District of Columbia. Washington District of Columbia. Clickable radio button unavailable not checked Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Graphic what is the capital of the United States of America? Graphic multiple choice. Graphic question 1 of 1.
Okay, well there's all my information. I was climbing back up the tree and there are kind of some issues with this guy. I don't recall actually seeing this slide before. I mean, you were sitting here with me and it's registered as that I did not answer the question completely here, and it's giving me these review items that I didn't ask for, and the quiz is disabled. So
multiple choice.
This isn't good. I'm going to go ahead and, well, first of all, I'm going to
Note int avid app NVDA.
Okay, I'm going to close NVDA
Safely,
for a second.
Okay.
Just okay. One of us talking right now is enough. I don't know why Captivate thinks that I was in here doing this test before, so I'm going to exit out of here. And you know, it's going to take me back to that Squirm Cloud interface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset progress on this for me. So now we've got a blank slate again. It doesn't have any memory of me having been in the course before. I'm going to launch it again, and I'm just going to navigate through it just using the mouse without the screen reader. Just make sure that it's not the screen reader causing this thing to think that I did the quiz wrong. Okay, so here's our question 101. Dallas, Texas is the capital of the United States, which is correct because I didn't set it to Washington, D.C. in the editor. So submit this. Here's my quiz results. And continue. And there's nothing to continue to, so the progress bar just slides all the way over there. Close. And here are my results. Somewhere. Complete, passed, 50 seconds. Alright, so let's try it again with the screen reader. Reset progress. Okay. And we'll bring NVDA back into the mix. Where'd it go? Oh, I just launch it again this way. There we go.
Okay. OK button. Scorm.
Okay.
Loading engines content player.
Okay, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to navigate by the keyboard through the whole thing. What's on this page? Let's read the whole thing. Caps lock A.
Learning content region course object title frame heading level 3 pop-up blocked. We attempted to launch your course in a new window, but a pop-up blocker is preventing it from opening. Please disable pop-up blockers for this site. Button launch course.
Okay, enter.
Untitled Google Chrome row 1 column 1. Document, unknown, play button.
There's a play button. Let's press enter. Okay, so it doesn't say anything. I don't know where I'm at. Let's try and just use the, you know, the coarsest tool we have and just read everything again.
Clickable graphic introduction slide course title, quiz items, button. Go to next slide, graphic clickable progress, slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5.
Okay, that's not bad. Are there any headings? Let's try H.
No next heading.
Okay, let's try L. Let's see, I think that's links.
No next list.
Oh, no lists. What's K? That's links.
No next link.
Okay, no links. Buttons?
No next button.
Okay, so using the navigation shortcuts to like find these interactive elements, not really picking anything up from the top level. So let's grab the rake and rake through this pile of gravel and find what we need.
Progress, slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5. Progress, slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5.
And I'm just using the down arrow.
Progress, slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5.
Okay, and it's the down arrow is just kind of stuck on this status bar. Let's try the tab key.
View site information menu button secure row 1 column 1.
I don't know what that is.
Address and search bar edit read only has autocomplete control plus L. Selected https://cloud.scorm.
Okay.
Document. Progress. Slide 1 of 5 slider progress. Slide 1 of 5. Clickable introduction slide course title. Quiz items graphic.
Okay. That's gobbledygook. Let's try tab again, see if I can get to that navigation button.
Button.
There we go.
Go to next slide button.
Okay, activate the button, spacebar. Okay. And once again, I heard a click. So that tells me something happened, but I don't know what. Let's see if there are any headings. H.
No next heading.
There are no headings. Let's try K for links.
No next link.
Are there any lists? L.
No next list.
Are there any buttons?
Button. Go to next slide button.
Great. I do want to go to the next slide.
Slide 2 SCORM Cloud Test. Play and distribute e-learning. SCORM Cloud takes care of all your e-learning needs, from testing standards-based content to delivering courses and reporting on results. Log into SCORM Cloud Online to manage your learning in one place, or integrate SCORM Cloud functionality to your application via our API. Each SCORM Cloud account includes an LRS, in-depth reporting and delightful support. Sign up for a free trial today. Graphic.
It didn't say graphic every 5 words this time, so that was kind of promising. Let's see if the button trick works again. B for button.
Button. Go to previous slide button.
Okay, I don't want to go to the previous slide, I want to go to the next slide. Button, B.
Button. Go to next slide button.
There we go. Activate button, spacebar.
Graphic.
That's a graphic. I don't know what's on here. Let me try to read the whole thing. Or let me see if there are any headings. H.
No next heading.
No headings. Any lists?
No next list.
No lists. Any links?
No next link.
Any buttons?
Submit button.
I don't want to submit. Let's try to read everything. Caps lock A.
Button submit. Clickable.
Okay, that's not cool. Let's try tab to scroll through the focusable elements.
View site information menu button secure.
Okay, I'm at the top of the document, I think.
Address and search bar edit read only. Document blank. Graphic.
Okay, tab again.
Dallas, Texas radio button not checked 1 of 3.
So it completely skipped over the question name. All right, tab again.
Submit button.
And it just goes right to the submit button. What is F? Is that form elements?
No next form field.
Now that's a problem, because I know I'm looking at this. We've got radio buttons. Those are form controls. So this does not bode well for someone who is using a screen reader to take this scored assessment. I'll keep using let's try and read it again all the way with all caps lock, which is the NVDA modifier key. I mean any of these actions that you want to perform, you use a combination of the modifier key and the whatever the shortcut key is. In this case, A.
No next annotation.
Now, if A by itself is annotations, and caps lock or NVDA modifier, and A is to read all on the page.
Button submit. Clickable.
Okay, let's try it again. So once again, we're shoveling with the tab key.
View site information menu button. Address and search bar edit read only has autocomplete.
Okay, let's try. Oh, so no, I know that the address bar is at the top, so instead of using tab, let's try and get more granular and use that down arrow key and see what happens.
https://cloud.
Okay.
https://cloud.school.
So the down arrow key is just kind of stuck in this address bar. So let me try tab again and see what happens.
Document blank. Graphic.
There we go. Okay. So the last time I tried tab, it just took me to the bottom of the thing, the bottom of the content. Let's try the down arrow key and see what happens this time.
Graphic question 1 of 1.
There we go. Down arrow key.
Graphic multiple choice.
Okay. Down arrow key.
Graphic what is the capital of the United States of America?
Down arrow key.
Dallas, Texas.
Down arrow key.
Clickable radio button not checked. Dallas, Texas.
Down arrow
Washington
key.
District of Columbia.
Down arrow key.
Clickable radio button not checked. Washington District of Columbia.
Down arrow
Houston,
key.
Texas.
Down arrow key.
Clickable radio button not checked. Houston, Texas.
Down arrow key.
Button submit.
Up arrow key.
Clickable radio button not checked. Houston, Texas.
Up arrow key.
Houston, Texas.
Up arrow
Clickable
key.
radio button not checked. Washington District of Columbia.
Up arrow
Washington
key.
District of Columbia.
Up arrow
Clickable
key.
radio button not checked. Dallas, Texas.
Check the radio button. Spacebar.
Checked.
Down arrow key.
Washington District of Columbia.
Down arrow key.
Clickable radio button not checked. Washington District of Columbia.
Up arrow key.
Washington District of Columbia.
Up arrow key.
Clickable radio button checked. Dallas, Texas.
Okay, that's my selection. Let's go to submit.
Submit button.
Enter. I don't know what happened. I just pressed enter and what's going on? Down arrow key.
Graphic correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue.
Okay. Down arrow key. Press Y to continue. Y. And nothing. Down arrow key.
Clickable. Clickable. Blank. Blank.
I'm just pressing the down arrow key.
Blank. Blank.
Tab key.
View site information menu button secure.
B for button.
B. B.
Down arrow key. This isn't funny.
Address and search bar edit
Okay.
read only. Document. Blank. Graphic. Submit button.
Okay. I pressed B because I knew that there was a button there somewhere. And enter to activate the button. Nothing. Spacebar. Nothing. Up arrow key.
Clickable radio button unavailable not checked. Houston, Texas.
Tab key.
View site information menu.
Tab
Address
key.
and search bar edit. Document. Radio button unavailable.
Tab key.
View site information menu button secure.
Tab key.
Address and document. Graphic.
See, now we're stuck here. Let's try B again.
Submit button.
Okay. Enter. It says correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. And I'm just you don't click with a keyboard.
Graphic correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue.
Okay, so maybe that's a button or a link or something. I'll press enter and see if it takes me to the next slide. Okay, it made it.
Graphic.
Okay. So it should have said just press enter key or whatever. I don't know. That was not clear. Let's see if I can get it to read my results. Caps lock A.
Graphic. Graphic clickable you scored 10. Graphic clickable maximum score, 10. Graphic clickable correct questions, 1. Graphic clickable total questions, 1. Graphic clickable accuracy, 100%. Graphic clickable attempts, 1. Congratulations, you passed the quiz. Graphic quiz results, button continue, button review quiz. Graphic clickable progress, slide 1 of 5 slider progress, slide 1 of 5.
B for button. Let's see what buttons we have.
No next button.
There's no next button. Up arrow.
Graphic clickable. Button review quiz.
There we go. Button review quiz. Next button, B.
No next button.
There's no next button. Tab, next focusable element.
Progress, slide 1 of 5 slider 55/5.
No.
View site information menu button secure.
Okay, going crazy with the tab key.
Address and graphic. Continue button.
There we go. Continue button. Activate continue button. Continue. And nothing. I don't know what's going on. So
Desktop.
well, let's just close this.
Captivate e-learning course Google Chrome.
Let's stop NVDA. Thanks for
NVDA.
Thanks NVDA. You did
OK button. Scorm Cloud Coop.
Okay, NVDA did a great job, and we completed and passed, and that's what a multiple choice quiz looks like out of the box for Captivate. I will be back, and maybe I will have some better practices for these multiple choice things. But as it stands right now, they're not incredibly